Hey everybody, Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 819, Momonosuke, Heir of the Kozuki Clan. And our cover page this week is the future country Baltimore, which is where Frankie spent the time skip. And just as I was pointing out to you here before, just right before we started recording, note the gorilla. He's got Frankie arms, and it looks like he's even doing the Frankie pose.
Yeah.
Also, the little 5 and 5 go.
You know what's interesting is that these guys remind me of the enemies from One Punch Man, because you have a cyber gorilla, and who do you have? You have a lion, and you have a dragon. And a dragon, it was in One Punch Man it was a ground dragon, basically a mole.
I was gonna say it wasn't a mole, but okay.
It was a mole, but they called him a ground dragon.
Actually, the thing that struck me was that the dragon looked like Momonosuke.
I know exactly. I was saying that too. I don't know why they have the ground dragon thing though, because
also do you notice the lion has a sunny mane?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. But you know what's interesting is that just a side point, like even in Dragon Ball GT, there was a dragon that was literally a mole too. So I don't know what is that like a Japanese thing that I'm not getting?
Well, that's a typical Asian dragon design, the long-shaped dragon.
No, not that. The mole, like the mole, because in One Punch Man they called him a ground dragon. It was like written on his chest. And in Dragon Ball GT, one of the dragons, one of the shadow dragons, was a giant mole.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if I've ever heard that before now, but
it might be like a language thing. You know, maybe they call moles ground. I think
maybe that's how it translates.
Maybe they do. Maybe in Japan they call moles ground dragons. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe. Like it could be like a translation or a nickname type of thing. Before we start on the chapter proper,
it's consistent.
Yep. Before we start on the chapter proper, there's one thing I want to bring up. It's something that we kind of missed completely the first time around on last week's chapter. You know how before the final panel was Kinemon explaining that his lord had sailed with Gold Roger?
Yeah.
Manga Stream, I don't know if Manga Stream just didn't catch it or what, but in the Viz version, and I actually checked this out, it was on the original Japanese as well, Kinemon said Gold D Roger.
Oh yeah, you
I tweeted this to you, yeah. And it's like, and the interesting thing on there as well, I didn't catch it myself. Well, I noticed it, but I didn't make anything of it. But I heard later that in the dialogue in the Japanese version, in the Raw, like normally when they mention the D, they actually have the letter D, like Monkey D, Luffy, and all that in the dialogue. But in this case, they just had like the Japanese way of saying the letter D, if that makes sense. Like not the actual English letter, but the Japanese version of it when Kinemon said it.
Okay.
Like it was like Viz's translator Stephen Paul, like his thought was that it's because he's saying it without knowing the significance of the D, but there's no real easy way to translate that without making it confusing, so I didn't worry about that part. I thought it would be a bigger deal this week than it was, because the thing that struck me is that I think that would be the very first time Gold D Roger has ever been said in front of the entire crew, excluding Robin.
Yeah, you did mention that. Unfortunately, because of the way I learned the name through the One Piece wiki, I didn't learn it through the series because you know how like 4Kids made me skip everything, and I didn't watch Skypiea and all that. So when I learned about Gold D Roger, as you know, that he had a name, the D in his name, I did not learn it from the manga itself, so I did not know if any of the Straw Hat actually knew it.
Right.
That's why even when you told me, it's just like, okay, so you know, like, it turns out that none of the Straw Hat actually, except for Nico Robin, actually knows about that. So I was like, okay, that'd be I wouldn't have noticed it even if they did do it right. So
yeah, for reference sake, for timeline purposes, the very first time readers ever heard Gold D Roger was the end of Drum. Like Dr. Kureha said it to Dalton after the Straw Hats had left with Chopper.
That was in the 4Kids, but then again, they could have changed a lot of things. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, I
don't
in
know.
that case, Gold D Roger, that was the very first mention we had of it. The next one that I remember was the end of Skypiea, where Robin saw his name written in the ancient language.
Yeah, but the thing about Gold D Roger is that he never ever called himself Gold Roger. It's just they messed up that name. Maybe they want to like sensationalize it, but he said like, no, I never called myself that. He complained about that to Whitebeard.
Right, and that's kind of like, I wondered if it was on purpose actually, like if they didn't want to give the D's any more notoriety than they could possibly help.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
But first off, what kind of kid, like his parents? They like, let's call him Goal.
No. Remember, Goal is the surname.
Oh yeah, Or oh yeah, you're right. Totally forgot. Roger's his first name, right?
Right. Yeah, Roger's the given name.
Yeah, damn it, Japanese.
Yeah, in fact, they bring that up with Ace as well. Like his when he was about to be born, like his mother was saying, his name would, if he was a boy, his name would be Gold D Ace.
Yeah.
But he delivered his mother's name instead.
Yeah.
Anyway, after Skypiea, interestingly enough, like I said, on that note, they never used Gold Roger even during the Whitebeard War when they announced who Ace's father was. They mentioned it with Ace, they mentioned it with his mother, but they said Ace was the son of Gold Roger.
Well, here's the thing, though.
And I checked that, and I deliberately checked that one.
But how about what dragon? Did they ever say Monkey D Dragon?
I don't think so, because when Garp revealed it, everyone else in the room was shocked at his full name. Okay,
so how about Garp? Garp, they didn't know about Garp, right?
They might have known about Garp, but at the same time, that's a D that's on their side.
Yeah, so they probably don't give a shit.
Yeah. And then Law kept his D. The same might have been true of Saul as well, the giant from Robin's flashback.
Oh yeah, because Saul was just like, I don't know what it means either, but yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like they would have kept it hidden in that case.
Yeah, Saul's weird though. He's a giant with the name D, so I don't know how that works out.
Yeah. Luffy announces the fact. Luffy and Ace announced the fact, so you can't really keep it hidden from them in that case. Law does keep it hidden, so I don't think even Sengoku knew until Law told him.
You know, without telling anyone, like just don't tell me what you think it is, but do you have any ideas of what you think the D means?
I've seen a couple theories. Like I said, the D is the only thing I'm concrete on is that the D's got to be connected to that old ancient kingdom.
Yeah, the blank century guys, right? So
yeah, I don't know if it's like maybe the first letter in the name, or if D is actually the name of the kingdom, or the name of some kind of family within the kingdom, or something like that.
Yeah. Because
it is known that everyone in a family line will have the name.
Yeah. So
on to the chapter proper.
Yeah, on to the chapter proper. They announces that Momonosuke's dad was part of the Gold Roger's crew.
Yep.
Goldie Roger's crew. Yep. And that Robin recants the fact that Goldie Roger and Raleigh and Rayleigh, or however you say his name, and the entire crew learned the history of the world.
Yep.
And that was basically the reason why Kaido, Doflamingo, and Caesar were trying to hunt down the samurai and his son.
Right,
not his son, but the Lord's son.
Yeah, and Kinemon confirmed the logic, but also revealed that their Lord Odin did not give them that secret. They don't actually know anything.
Yeah.
Of course, even if they did, as Kanjuro notes, they wouldn't have said anything.
And also keep in mind that some people like Jack would probably not care. They're probably like, no, we'll get this guy anyway, you know. So anyway, they basically expressed regret that they couldn't have protected them. Everybody, like all the samurai and all and the two mink leaders, they all wanted to open the borders of the Wano country
because that was Lord Odin's wish.
Yeah, and they want to seek justice for him. And then their goal is to kill the shogun of the Wano country and open the borders, so that he basically recants that again. That is our true desire. So basically, they say it again that how that there are people who want to rebel against the government in Wano, but they don't have much of a chance right now.
Right. There's no hope of winning. Like the other side is just too powerful at the moment.
I mean, they basically have Kaido on their side, excluding their own army. So that's pretty big.
Yes.
And so.
And so when the samurai left, the very first thing they wanted to do is find comrades who could fight with them, and their first thought was obviously going to be Zoe, because they're linked, they're friends, they're allies. Yeah,
the Ming said they would have done it, they said that Raizo showed up. When Raizo showed up, we basically pledged our lives to do so. But unfortunately, when the time came, they were basically wrecked by just one of Kaido's people, squads. I mean, they stood a pretty good chance. I mean, it was just Jack and the stupid Caesar gas that had a problem with.
Which Frankie notes right away.
Yeah. But at the same time, the enemy will use those type of tactics over and over again if they have to. But the Ming say they will not make the same mistake twice, and they have something up their sleeve which will show them the true strength of the Minks. Which I don't think they actually mentioned in this chapter. They're not.
Well, I'm willing to bet it's probably linked to that whole full moon thing they keep bringing up, or moonlit night thing.
Well, what are they gonna do? Turn into like werewolves?
I don't know. There could be some factor there.
And they're already animals. Anyway, so
Kinemon at least at this point points out he calls out to Luffy and to Law as well. He doesn't like asking for a favor because they've already helped him so much. but he asked if they would fight alongside them against Kaido and the Shogun of the Wano country.
And then Luffy gives this blank stare that we all know means he's gonna say no. I mean, that's not a spoiler. We all know the moment he gave that look. It's like, no, he won't say yes, not yet at least.
Yep.
And so, and of course, usually when Luffy says no, everyone else is like, yeah, let's do this. You know, get excited.
I like Nami. Nope. I like Nami. It's like, Luffy's got a point. First come the negotiations. Cha-ching!
So, I don't know who pushed him to the ground again. Is it
that's Usopp? They're arguing.
Yeah. Okay. But this guy is your captain. Just saying.
Yeah. Of course, the thing is, like, Luffy's issue isn't so much that he's being asked. It seems like he's more like he's being asked by the wrong person.
Yeah, exactly. He wants someone to say it. And he's right now he's basically yelling at Momonosuke, saying, all you do is crying. You just
you're the leader. You're the leader of these guys, right? All you're doing there is sitting there and crying.
Yeah, Nami gets pissed off. But I think it's because she wants to, Anyway, so.
Yeah, she's like just ready to console Momo. Like, she is ready to just get into that family.
Yeah. Of course, not marry Momonosuke. That's freaking creepy. But maybe marry like a member of his another member's family, like maybe a little older. I don't know.
Well, she just wants the money. I don't think she's not too worried about it beyond that.
Yeah. Because she was married. She wanted to marry the father, but the father's dead. So I mean, that's kind of a. But she might want to be nice to him. That way, when if they do something for him, that he would actually give them money in return or something. So that's probably why.
Yeah. And at this point, Momonosuke starts flashing back to some of the stuff from when he was in Wano and presumably when he was traveling. His, like I said, what looks like Kinemon, I guess, protecting them. Fires being set. His mother presumably dying. And as it all kind of comes to a head, like he goes into full runny-nosed, teary mode, snot and all that. Like, I want to be Kaido. It's like, Kaido's the enemy of his family. His mother fell by his hand. He wants to become an adult big and strong so he can get vengeance for his parents. He wants to protect his retainers, like with the Kinemon and them. But it's like, he's too small to do so. He can't do it. So he asks Luffy to fight beside him. And he actually gets ready to get down on his hands and knees to do it, but before he does, Luffy stops him. Like, he's on his hands and knees, but he doesn't, like, bow. Luffy stops him from bowing down completely. He's like, that's more like it. Let's join up. We'll take down Kaido for you.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, you're supposed to shake it.
Yeah. And, like, and Kinemon knows that even though he was, like, going off on an 8-year-old boy, it's like, more than any of them, Luffy was thinking of Momonosuke as an adult, or as another leader.
Because he didn't want anyone else to speak for him. Momonosuke has to speak for himself.
Yep. And it's like, Straw Hat, what about your faith in me? You never asked my opinion, Law. It's like, but you're fine with it, right? Not the point.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was. I was thinking myself, like, Law said he wanted to go against Kaido in the beginning, so and it makes no difference to him.
Yeah, it's just like, I think it's just more like, who is the one we're in alliance? You are not in charge here. Yeah. And then at this point, like, Luffy's like, in order to beat the living crap out of Kaido, we hereby formed a Ninja Pirate Mink Alliance. Do we really need the ninja part? Everyone, yes! Like, everybody's like, yes!
Wait, who said do we need a ninja part?
I don't know, probably Nami or something.
Yeah, probably. They always make fun of the fact that it's like, it seems like we get like a gender difference or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you notice Kanjuro's doing the Frankie pose?
Is he? He's just kind of... No, he's kind of hovering in there. He's like... His arms are in front of him.
Wait, Kanjuro, like...
Kanjuro's doing the Frankie pose.
Yeah, that's what I said that.
You said... Oh, I thought you said Raizo, I'm sorry.
No, Kanjuro.
Okay. Also, like, you see them, like, giving each other, like, a little fist bump there, it looks like.
So, yeah. We have many alliances now. I mean, we have... Like, Luffy is making connections. He's making connections.
Yep. I was like, just a heads up, you don't have to bow your head or kneel again. Or kneel. Being in an alliance means being friends. Law's like, not close! You have no right to complain, Law. Usopp warned you about this a long time ago. He told you exactly what was going to hit. This was exactly what would happen. And Luffy's like, he's also fine with the alliance, but he's still got one condition. It's like, okay, wait, you said that's the part that comes first. And he points out he wants to get Sanji back before they make a move on Kaido. It's like, I'm going to go and bring him back. Until then, I don't want anyone to start any trouble. Besides, Sanji's super strong. He's pretty much worth 1,000 people. And I love Zoro right after this. It's like, just so we're clear, I'm worth 2,000. It's like, I was like, yes, we know. Give him like a little pat on the head. He's all shadow over his face too.
And then they so basically they're going to be going up against a Yonko. But so basically now we have Big Mom to worry about, right?
Yeah, but Luffy points out, if not here, then somewhere else, that he has no intention of actually fighting Big Mom, but he is going to go and get Sanji back.
Yeah. But I mean, he might have to. That's the thing.
Yeah, and then back outside where the Guardians are, it's like, they're all happy because it's like the fact that the leaders are together again is like almost is a miracle unto itself. Like, they used to be the best of friends according to Pedro, but then one day, after a very long journey, they return after a very long journey, barely clinging to their lives. And the bunny girl Carrot knows that this is before she was even born, and even the older ones, they were just kids at the time. Which I'm going to presume means that they had, this is probably around Roger's time, to be honest.
They probably, my guess is they probably blamed each other for the deaths of Odin or whatever.
Well, Odin's death was too recent for that to be the case.
Okay, then maybe something else.
Because, I mean, not unless the minks age like in dog years.
Wait. Remember that Momonosuke said that, I know you blame yourselves for my father, but please get along. I remember that.
Yeah, you're right about that. Maybe it could be something else in that case, but maybe not his death.
Maybe dog years.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the dog year thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, they knew Shanks. Was it implied that they know Roger? I forget.
They knew Shanks.
Yeah, for sure. And they knew Shanks when he had the hat, which puts him back before he met Luffy.
Yeah, but it had to be after Gold Roger then.
Yeah, either during or after.
Yeah. So basically, everyone celebrates because everyone's the rulers are reconciled, have kind of reconciled, and they can sleep whenever they wake up whenever they want.
I love that. It's like, but unknown to them, there's a bigger problem afoot because Jack is back, and he is not happy with Sheepshead for coming back and saying that the samurai wasn't there.
Here's Jack.
Yep. Raizo isn't there, you said. I find it hard to believe that you found it acceptable to return with such an answer. It's like, of course, Jin Rummy's noting that that's probably the better alternative, since the other option was to say that they got driven out.
I'm surprised you remember the names of these people. I don't even care enough to remember who they are. The small fry.
At the same time, I literally could not remember the guy from Bleach. I mean, you got all their names down.
Well, because I was into Bleach, and there's not that there's not much going on, so all you have to do is just memorize the names, and you know.
I mean, I literally remember nothing about Ginjo. Nothing. I mean, I keep making numbers with Tsukishima, like I told you. Anyway,
at least he was the main villain, so.
Yeah. Jack is like, Jack's like, they're hardy rodents. What if the ones that managed to escape the gas treated the others? If they're all still half dead, we'll simply go there, finish the job. Like, I guess he thinks that they took pity on the minks at some point there. But it's like, at this point, Jack's not going to rush and do anything. He's not just going to go and rush in and charge them and go after him one by one. He's just going to kill the huge elephant. He's just going to go and kill Zunisa.
So, are they showing the, okay, yeah. You know what's interesting is that, so, Jack can turn into a mammoth, and he's going to kill an elephant. I mean, this is elephant battle or something?
Well, there's certainly a bit of what TV tropes would call a boomerang bigot, hating your own kind.
Well, mammoths not exactly like elephants. But, so...
Yeah, there aren't any elephant Power Rangers.
Actually, there are.
Oh, there are?
Yeah.
Huh, well, okay, never mind then. But it started with the mammoth. They started on the mammoth, though.
Yeah, but there was an elephant in Jungle Fury. So.
Okay, I stand corrected then.
So we all knew this was coming, right? He was going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some back and forth debating that in a couple of forums, but I think the moment we saw him alive again, it was pretty much set for him to come back.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take that much brain, there isn't much of an issue in saying that he'll come back, because he obviously has a lot. This is the closest place he can go to after getting defeated, and the fact that he was defeated, by the way, shows that he's not invincible.
And you want to know what I'm wondering? How did he find Zoe a second time? Because think about this. Zoe is a constantly moving object. Like, it's moving on its own accord, doing its own thing. The running theory, going by what we've seen so far, is that unless you have some way to track someone who's already on the Zoe, like a Vivre card, you would need a mink to actually be able to find it.
There's a traitor.
So yeah, possibly there's a mink trader on the crew.
There's a guy who's kind of like Peckham's, but he's actually like doesn't care about them.
Yeah, because you got Peckham's on there. Of course, they also question of how Raizo found it, but I could see them having the Vivre card. I mean, Raizo could have that.
I mean, yeah, they're friends. That's not much of an issue.
Yeah. I mean, they had that. The Heart Pirates had Beppo. Big Mom had Peckham's. I mean, what does Jack have?
I don't know. Luck. The plot.
Yeah, true. I mean, there might be some other trick we're not aware of.
Well, I mean, how much can the elephant move in one day or 2 days?
Well, it's been about a week.
A week, okay. So, yeah. But how? Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because it took him a while to get actually, because the other Straw Hats, the Curly Hats have been there for about a week or so at least.
They could have followed Big Mom's ship.
Not true.
I'm sure they'll tell us how.
Yeah, that's actually once we get an idea of how you find Zoe in the first place. But yeah, you're right about that.
Okay. So how do you think this fight will go? Because I'm sure he'll fight with Luffy and the rest of the gang.
What I want to see happen is I want to see the samurai be instrumental in bringing him down.
Okay.
Because that would be like one of the things that could help them like relieve their debt of honor to the minks. For like because of how much damage they took just defending them.
Yeah. But I'm asking myself. We gotta ask ourselves. If it's gonna take so much effort to defeat Jack, I wonder how much it will take to defeat not only there are other two calamities that are supposed to be around Jack's level.
Yep.
And then Kaido himself, who's even stronger, and Big Mom, who's supposed to be as strong as Kaido.
Or at least equal in some way there. Yeah.
Somewhere. They should be able to fight each other on somewhat of a level playing field. Then you have Blackbeard after that. I mean, interesting how, if you actually think about it, how, dang, Shanks must be powerful, because he was really, for someone of that power to just be like, like the way he was when he first met Luffy was kind of like, wow, that's kind of amazing if you think about it.
Yeah.
It also shows you how much of a flop that Buggy was, to be part of that crew and not to really turn out that well at all.
Right, like he's like just he was never strong in the first place, or he just downgraded significantly.
He was the dropout of the family, basically. I mean, he stayed in the East Blue, and you have to go to the Grand Line to become stronger. So,
same. The meaning is like, how much stronger has he actually become?
Nah, I don't think that much stronger.
Not really. Nah.
That should be it. Next chapter, we will probably have an elephant versus elephant battle with maybe Luffy and everyone else. This elephant has lasted a long time, right? How long is this elephant? Like
1,000 plus.
Yeah, 1,000. So I'm sure he's gone through a lot of troubles in his time. So I'm sure he can handle himself too.
Yeah.
Maybe not for long enough for until Luffy.
Yeah.
Or it's then the samurai come in and help him out.
I am not the least bit worried about the elephant's condition at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he might take damage, but I doubt he's going to be in anything serious, like anything that would require the minks to evacuate.
The elephant's eyes are similar to Jack's eyes too.
Maybe
it's because the way they look, they're both like elephant-like. But
well, we don't really. The last time we saw the elephant in the flesh, like the elephant's face, like the eyes kind of look dead, really.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he has dead eyes, like Jack does. Jack, we can actually see Jack's eyes. But in terms of like how dead they look from kind of like the outside of the eyes, they do remind me of each other. I don't know. I mean, I think that in anime and manga is usually to represent how old someone is. But
yeah, I can see like sort of like the wrinkles and bags kind of with the eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. In that case, I think we're ready to go. In that case, like I said, I think we kind of covered our discussion points during the chapter, to be honest. But it's been our review of One Piece chapter 819, Momonosuke, heir to the Kozuki clan. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.